I had a man call me that made a terrible mistake with his wife, and he cheated on her. And the sad part about it is they're still married for a lot of years, probably at least 20, and since then, but they don't physically have anything to do with each other. They are uh, truly best friends, which I think is marvelous. But physically, there is no affection, nothing between them. This is a very sad situation because God made humans to have that human contact. Like Paul the Apostle says, let every man have his own wife, because it's better for him than to have to face all those feelings. Um, a woman who has been rejected, or even a man, both of them, who has had the most horrible rejection, which is infidelity. Rejection of you for someone else is one of the most painful things that either man or woman could go through. A man takes it so hard that he'll build up a wall. And as much as he loves his wife, he doesn't want anything to do with her because he cannot bear the thought that someone else touched her. Well, a woman is the same way. She don't want anything to do with that person because she cannot bear the thought that someone else had what belonged to her. Because the scriptures are true. The scriptures are true in the sense that you don't belong to yourself, you belong to your wife. You don't belong to yourself, you belong to your husband. Either way, both of you is the same situation. So here comes forgiveness. Some women and some men could only forgive so far. They can't bear the pain of the rejection. Well, that is between them and God. So I suggested to this man, after living with this woman, that is obvious she loves him because they are best friends. So I suggested for him to do little things that would show her that he loved her and not show any signs toward wanting anything else. You know, love is something sometimes to someone is uh, like the young man that I ministered to who had a mother that he was taking care of like a robot when I told him, and he thought she was filled with demons because she was so upset all the time and nasty to him, and she was just so hurt that he had no affection, no love, no nothing. He just did what he was supposed to do. And when he decided to be affectionate towards her, touch her hand once in a while. Let her know she's loved. Look her in the eyes and let her know she's loved. Love covers a multitude of everything. She melted. She literally melted. Well, see, it's the same thing with a man that has been hurt. Your kindness, your love covers a multitude of sins. Understanding instead of fighting it. See, you can fight it and say, well, I don't deserve you treating me this way. You can do that and make more trouble, or you could understand, look, they've been hurt and go beyond the fault of all of it and see their needs. If your love can go beyond what is happening to you, then God can move to let love go beyond your faults because you're not perfect in this situation. Those of you that have done this wrong, and even though you never repeat it again, which I think it's part of your integrity as a person, that if you make a stupid mistake when you're younger and you go on and still live with that same person, if you have integrity at all, you will never allow the thoughts to come to your mind or your heart. You will never, ever do it again, not mentally, not emotionally, not physically, not in any way. The only way to protect yourself is to let yourself die. Your feelings are no longer important to God. What you need and you think you need, God has power over. I suggested to him that once in a while, just take her hand and just touch it for a moment and say, I'm so glad you're mine. I'm so glad you stayed with me. or I'm so glad that you still love me, and walk away. Just show her in so many different ways. You can show love in so many different ways. And when you're real terrified and afraid, well, they're going to get angry, it's going to bring up, fix it so you're not in a position that you have to stay there and wait for an answer. If you're looking for a reaction, that's not unconditional love. You see, unconditional love gives without asking anything back, without even hoping to get anything back. Unconditional love, I mean, that man really loves his wife. So that unconditional love, when he shows it to her, is unconditional. That's the way your love should be, because when your love is unconditional, you know what happens? It's very effective and it's very powerful. When you can love somebody who is right in your face, hating you, being rotten to you in every single way that they can, and I've had that happen many, many times. That's the way it was for Jesus Christ. His love completely melted it. So when you are praying, you don't pray against them. You don't pray for God to teach them, for God to show them, for that's all manipulation. You don't do none of that. You pray for God to forgive them. You pray for God to help them see the truth for their sake, not for yours. You pray that you always have the grace and the kindness to be good to them. I know this might be confusing to some of you, but you live in a world of confusion. I mean, an absolute world of confusion that when you hear the real truth, your mind doesn't really line up. So your confusion is not what I'm saying. Your confusion is that you're used to lining up to all the wrong things. So plead the blood, because God is not an author of confusion. Even in Paul's day, they were doing exactly the same things that they're doing today. Exactly. And he didn't. And he would tell them exactly what I'm telling you. Keep yourself holy. Keep yourself kind. Keep yourself loving. Keep yourself good to that other person. And believe God, that God will look beyond their faults and see their needs. I believe that man that I administered to, and Lord had me give him so much more than that. The Bible says the time is coming that there will be people who will live as though they were never married. So many people I come in contact with, they'll even sleep in the same bed, and have nothing to do with each other. They will constantly have nothing to do. So I had to sneeze. So what I'm saying is during this time, there are so many different reasons and so many different problems. And the only way you can search that stuff out is to know God in you. Find God in you. Now, one woman wrote that her husband wants nothing to do with her. Well, that happens quite often. Hold steady. Know and understand. If he's not beating you, he's not hurting you physically, he's not cheating on you, and he still lives with you, there's a reason. He does care. People don't stay together for kids. They don't stay together for money. They don't stay together for convenience. They stay together because they care. And because you don't know how to bring the best out of them. You see, God knows how to bring the best out of you if you let him. And having the best, God bringing the best out of you, you are able to bring the best out of other people. And how God does it is through love, and love alone. If you're always looking for something, you're looking for him to pay attention, you're looking to get his attention, you're not looking to God. You're looking that, oh, you have to be heard, you have to be understood. You're not looking for God. You're fighting, you're hurting, pain speaks and you're fighting. You're not doing God's will, but you say you are. Ask God to give you wisdom to know how to handle the predicament and the condition that you're in, but answer you through the word, not through ignorance, not through lack of understanding, not through, oh, fulfill all your needs because, oh, I can't even go there. I just want to let you know there are ways. There are so many reasons and whys all of this could be happening to you. And you got to search them out. I can't search them out for you. I can teach you how to hear from God. I can teach you how to get a word of knowledge and have Him talk to you. I can teach you that. But you talk to Him and say, Lord, today, what can I do to bring this stronghold down? How can I? He'll send you right in the Word. Instead of asking me or telling me or asking someone else and telling someone else, He will send you right in the Word. And He'll open up your understanding. Then you have to have the faith to believe that He will heal that situation. For God is not in the business of splitting people apart. God says, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. That's not a weapon for you to use against Him. That is for you to have power to pray against anything that tries.